woke up this morning and I said, instead of waiting for a good day to happen, waiting around through ups and downs, I just said, look.
And we're live. Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded. Hey, Austin, guess what? You're being recorded, man.
Dang, man. Some people get super paranoid. Like, oh, what? They can listen to my car. Like, dude, what are you possibly talking about, bro? No one gives a shit about what you're talking about.
The feds could be listening, man. The feds could be listening.
Yeah. And they could also be looking at everything else that we have. That guy's not a threat. Yeah.
I was playing a softball tournament with a guy a couple weekends ago, and I was like, I'll Venmo you for the softball tournament fee. He's like, I don't use Venmo, man. Venmo's for the feds. And I was like, smart guy, you probably sell weed.
Yeah, no. I'd be like,
you probably sell some sort of drug. But yeah,
I'd be like, you're the guy who probably gives your email address and your phone number, at like the mall or something like that when they ask you for those things. You don't even think about it. But no, Venmo, no, dude. Yep.
All right. We've already wasted a minute. Welcome to the Los Diablos podcast.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alex and Austin, it's Sunday night, so episode 2, man.
Yeah, I know. Episode 2.
How much have you Google searched about podcast stuff the last couple of days?
Not actually a lot. The last couple of days. The last couple of days, dude, I've been studying for a Texas government test, bro, that I have.
Yeah.
On Monday. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, dude.
Good old Texas Gov.
Yeah, dude. It's a trip, dude, once you start reading it. But yeah.
Well,
I'm done with that.
Episode 2. It's gonna be you interviewing me. It's gonna be hard for me to not ask questions. I'm a question guy.
Yeah. No, I got you, man.
I was told that I also have to rein you in a little bit more. Episode 1, you wandered a little bit, so I'll keep you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to talk about, dude.
I know. Well, shoot, get going.
All right, man. No, so when did you move to Nebraska?
I moved to Nebraska full time 2010. My parents moved here full time 2008.
Dang. Wait. So what was going on through that time period of 2008 to 2010?
I was playing baseball at Schreiner University in Kerrville, Texas, and going to school.
How was that? How's Schreiner?
Schreiner was an awesome experience. It was it was like 1,200 students. It was so big, 2,500 students in the whole school, and Schreiner was like a combined, right over 1,000, and over half the students were online enrollees. So you're basically either they're on a scholarship, like an academic scholarship, and you're super smart, or you're an athlete. That was basically it.
That's crazy. What was Schreiner known for? For their baseball?
Drinking beer, basically.
Dang.
Fun fact about Schreiner, located in Kerrville, Texas. That's home of Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel.
Oh yeah. His parents are from what I've heard is they're super wealthy.
Yeah, he went to Tybee. His dad was into a whole bunch of oil money. That kid was a D-bag his entire high school career too. He was never known for his humbleness.
That's cool. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
So, other than that, Schreiner really wasn't known for a whole lot. I got hooked up there through a recruiter who was like, hey, we're looking for baseball players, and they couldn't give out athletic scholarship at D3s, so they had to give out academic scholarships. And he was like, you qualify for this academic scholarship, so if you want to come play baseball here, that'd be cool. And it's like, oh, well, all right, I think I could probably do that. So
yeah, that's cool. What during your time there at Schreiner, right? Am I saying it right, Schreiner?
Yeah, Schreiner. Kind of like the guys with the funny hats, but not the guys with the funny hats. Spelled different.
No, yeah, I gotcha. I was gonna ask, how was your social life there? How was it there at Schreiner? How was it?
It was good, man. A lot of the guys that I ran around with at Shriner, I'm still good friends with. So, still see them as much as I can, and it's a lot of beer drinking. Beer drinking.
Yeah.
When I got to school, high school, I didn't drink at all, you know. Mm. And when I got there, I kept telling myself, like, high school, I kept telling myself, you know, I'm going to go to college, I'm not going to drink. And then I joined the baseball team, and we're like 2 weeks into like senior-led practices. You know, coaches can't be on the field yet, but the seniors are running the practices. Mm-hmm. And we get to like Friday, you know, and everybody, you know, was really trying hard to do well, you know, make a good impression. And we had been having like little meetings, like off-site, you know, in the gym or whatever, just talk about what time we were going to, you know, be going to practice and stuff.
Like a nerd, and taking things seriously.
Yeah. Well, on Friday, the seniors walk up to us and they're like, hey, we're having a meeting tonight in Bernard's apartment. And it's Friday night, and Bernard's one of the seniors. And we're like, okay, you know, we had no idea. We're just naive. And we get there, and first thing, they put a bottle of Captain Morgan in my hands. And I was like, oh, no, I don't drink. And Bernard just looked at me, and he's like, you're going to start drinking. And I was like, okay, I guess I drink. So that was the first night I got, like, shit canned. Just right there.
Dang, man.
Yep.
And the girls?
Rest is history.
There always has to be girls, man. Yeah.
Well, so when I got to Shriner, Anissa and I were still dating.
Oh, okay. Dang.
So, yeah.
In a long time.
And then it was on again, off again. So there was girl times, and then there was not girl times. And then
like anything else, like any other guy, any other average guy, you know.
I mean, you get to college and you're like, oh, I know this isn't going to be that hard. You know, everybody says don't go into college with a girlfriend. And then you get there and you're like, oh, I get why they said don't go into college with a girlfriend. You know, so.
Yeah, anyway. I learned that in the Army. I learned that. But, and then after, wait, so how long were you at Shriner? You were there for 2 years?
I was there for 3 years. I left. I was like 22 credit hours away from a degree.
Dang.
I think it might have even been 12.
What happened? Why
my family, man, they moved to Omaha, and it
was just too much to juggle.
My dad lost his job like 6 months into our family moving here. So
dang.
Yeah, I remember him calling me and basically being like, "Hey, you know, I'm not going to tell you can't go back for your senior year, but just know, like, I'm not going to be able to give you like any money at all. You're going to be basically on your own." Mm-hmm. And that's how it was at the end of my junior year, and it was tough, man. I was coaching baseball instead of playing baseball, working all the time, you know, practicing all the time, going to class all the time, and I was just like, you know,
exhausted.
Just gonna go to Nebraska and basically
figure it out.
It was a good thing I did too, because that was a financial hard times for the nation and for my family. So
no, I hear you, dude. During what time was that?
A little bit.
Was that 08 or was that in 10?
That was in 10.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, that's when I moved here full time.
I'm trying to think what I was doing in 2010. 2008, 2010. When did you like your family, like what time was your family in 2010 moving to Nebraska?
They moved here 2008. So I left for my...
Or you. When did you officially get to Nebraska in 2010?
Well, I got home for the summer, and then I was like undecided on whether I was going to go back or not. And of course, start dating a girl, and
girls
that probably influenced my decision as much as I said that it didn't. And
Sad, we'll do it to you, dude.
Yeah, ended up staying here, but it was, like I said, it was a blessing because we've planted some good roots in Omaha, you know.
Dude, it looks like it, man. It really does. It really does. Your family, like I said, in the first interview, probably over a couple times, like your family's great and hospitable, man.
Thanks,
it's hard not to gravitate to such kind-hearted people, such open people like that, you know.
Well, thank you. I mean, we try, and that's part of the reason why, was like 4 years ago. I had basically everything lined up to move to Austin. And I was going to go down there and live with Wade, job, house, everything, basically ironed out. And I just couldn't pull the trigger, man. I just couldn't do it.
Dang, dude. Yeah.
It's too hard to get away from the family, you know. So.
No, yeah. I hear you. Family's a big part, man. Family's a big part. You know?
Yeah.
Family's a big part to people who have family like that. What, like I said, dude, I'm trying to line up where we're at in a timeline. So in 2010, because in 2010, March of 2010, I was joining the Army.
10, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
March of 2010, I was, oh shit. Sorry. I don't know if I should swear or not. Anyway.
Yeah.
I was, umpiring. Well, no, I would have been refereeing a lot of basketball games. So basically, at that time, my dad and I were doing like whatever we could, joint bank account, just trying to like keep the lights on and like buy groceries for the family. So
at
that point in time, it was like refereeing a ton of basketball games, would have been getting ready to head into umpiring season, baseball umpiring season.
I just think you got really good at making some good calls, dude, bad calls, dude.
Well, it was me and my dad as a team, you know, as a refereeing team. So or an umpiring team. So he'd be out in the field and I'd be behind the plate, you know, and one of the coaches would start chirping. And we had like little signs like that we would do to each other, you know, where we'd like, you know, pound our hand or something like that. And like, we'd be like, all right, this means fuck you today, you know, and like I just like look over towards the dugout and just kind of clap my hands. My dad would fucking get a kick out of it, man. He loved it. He loved it. He thought he was being so coy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's cool, dude. That's cool. But that's cool to have that with your dad, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's hilarious. What's the craziest thing? At least in the sense of like that, like a bad call. I like bad
story.
Stuff. Yeah. In the sense of like refereeing or umpiring.
I'll tell you my dad's favorite story to tell, and one of my favorite things about it is watching him tell it, because he says it the same way every single time, and he always cracks up at the end. Anyway, we're doing this tournament. I think it was like a Triple Crown tournament. So we had teams from like Dallas, and we had a team from Georgia, because the College World Series was in town. Youth teams travel here to play and go watch College World Series. So these guys from Dallas, they had this one coach. He was like super old school, just crotchety, like would not scream at them, but was just super gruff with the kids, you know. And this is the second game I have them of the day. They had game one, they turn around and play again right away. Game two, right? First game, he did not like my strike zone, and I was always known for having a very low but very consistent strike zone. I was a pitcher's umpire, you know, like especially if you could consistently like hit outside corner at the knees, I'm gonna give it to you, you know, even if it might be a little down, but whatever. So we get to like the second inning, and he is still not accepting the fact that I'm going to call that pitch a strike. And they're pissed about that. So a kid hits like a swinging bunt, right? And it's a close game. It's probably like 5-3. Runners on second and third, I think, like 2 outs. Well, this coach's team is down, just kind of rolls right out in front of the catcher. Well, the catcher picks it up and is going to throw to first base. It should be a pretty simple play, you know, it was kind of rushed. But the kid is running like way inside of the baseline, you know what I mean? Running to first.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You have to run, you know, either on the line or outside the line. And he's running clearly inside of it. Well, the catcher picks it up and throws, and it bounces off the kid's helmet and goes like into right field. And so the fans start going nuts, because now these two runners are going to score, you know, and they're going to take the lead in this game. Well, right away, I put my arm out, and I'm stopping play because he's out. That kid running the first is out because he's running where he's not supposed to be running. Ball hit him. So after I get everything calmed down and I'm, everybody's finally starting to realize what's going on, man, the head coach of this team comes storming out of the dugout and just in my face right away. You've had a chip on your shoulder against us all day. And so I run him right away, and I'm like, listen, man, not going to do this. You got to go, and so he's screaming. The assistant coach is in the dugout, and he finally says something. I'm pretty sure he swore. I think he said, like, that's bullshit or something like that. And I was like, you know what? You can go.
You're out of here, too.
And so now they're both gone. And so everything kind of, calms down, and we get a couple innings later, and the fat guy, the big fat gruff guy, is the only coach left. And he's obviously, the most pleasant person in the park to be around at this point in time. And it had just rained the night before, and he's sitting on a bucket, like leaning up against a fence over by the dugout. And there's this huge mud puddle, like right behind him. And this guy leans up against the fence just right one time to where, like, the fence kind of, like, buckled. You know what I mean? And this guy goes right over off of his bucket, smack into that mud puddle, dude. Just fucking covered in mud and water. And my dad is on first base, and he's over there by first base. And my dad is fucking cracking up. Really trying hard not to laugh, but it's hilarious. And the coach looks up and goes, I suppose you think that's fucking funny, don't you? And my dad was like, yes, sir, I do. I sure do.
Your dad's a big guy, too, man. I remember your dad, man. We would be around your pool, and he would pretend that life alert thing. He'd be on the floor and be like, life alert, I've fallen and I can't get up. Your dad would crack me up every time when he would do that, man. Wear a helmet because he gets sunburned on his head.
He's a grizzly bear, man.
Yeah. That's my spirit animal, man. Grizzly bear. So. Oh, man. No, well, okay, so, man, 2010. So after that, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, what's
after
life
2010?
Like? Yeah.
Well, it was pretty rough there for a while, until my dad started with the company he's at now, and the company that I'm at now, and he started doing pretty well there and worked his way up through the ranks, and that's when I was gonna come back because, like, financially, like, they were pretty stable, they were doing well. And I was like, oh, they don't need me here anymore, so
Yeah.
I kind of, like, had, like, the moral conscience where I was like, yeah, I can go if I want to go,
That's so awesome when things like that get good,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
In a position like that to where things are, like, comfortable, Like, that's always a good feeling.
I know this isn't like a religious podcast or anything like that, and I don't care what people believe.
Yeah.
I do, but, like, I'm not going to shove it down your throat. I think that, it's just blessings, and the harder you work, man, the more it's going to pay off for you, and create your own destiny in that regard. I watched my dad go from, own company, and then recession hits, and literally just refereeing basketballs to pay the rent. And so
a lot of intangibles. There's a lot of intangibles, and it's to me, growing up, just to go off what you're saying, like, growing up, I had to self-educate a lot of things, how to read a lot of books, how to just to kind of direct myself. So people not coming from that kind of home, you know what I mean? Like, it says a lot, man. It says a lot, So,
well, and I think
in that regard, you're lucky. You're lucky to have that.
Absolutely, and I think we talked about it a little bit last time. Like, I'm extremely privileged to have, my family. Don't get me wrong. That's a privilege and a blessing that I have. At the end of the day, really have a hard time believing that people can't create that for themselves. Also,
no. So it was 2010, 2010. Like, with your family getting back on your on your guys' feet and everything like that, things becoming more comfortable. What's going on in your life? Once you're starting to see these, I don't know. I would say these changes. Like once things are like getting good. How are things? How did you make friends?
Kind of through drinking, honestly, partying. That's how. Well, and that was the hard thing when I first moved here. I knew nobody.
Yeah, dude, being a new kid sucks.
And not only did I not know anybody, but I wasn't going to school here at first, so I was working at PacSun at the mall at that time. So I didn't really get the opportunity to meet people. So just kind of started building friend connections, and it's been, I don't know, I've met a lot of different people in a lot of different weird ways, Omaha is like, they always say Omaha is like the biggest, smallest city in America because everybody like knows everybody and there's a lot of common connections.
Oh, okay. That's cool though. I've never.
So
Cornhuskers, that's about it.
Yeah, Cornhuskers. What did you ask me initially? After I got more comfortable. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, well, how'd you? Yeah. Well, like it was me mainly thinking in my head, how'd you make friends? You know what I mean? Like, who are your friends now? Like.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. And my friends now, of course, are my family primarily, and then I just have a couple good buddies, a couple that I've known like since I first moved to Omaha, a couple that I've just met through softball or baseball or mutual friends or whatever. So. And it kind of, honestly, I don't want to say it changes with the season, but like there's guys I see more during Texas football season because we're doing host parties, at my house on Saturdays, but I won't see practically all winter. And then guys I play softball with at the same store, I spend like almost all summer with them and then don't really see them until next season. So
that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's always, I don't know. I tell people I highly encourage people to go to different places and more so don't stay, go. Cause it just, I don't know, puts you in a situation where you have to figure it out, And in your case, your family had to really figure out a lot, which I think that no wonder you don't want to leave. You know what I mean? Like you guys experienced a lot of life together. But yeah, dude. So you guys are back on your feet. Yeah.
First job was, well, not first job. I worked at a golf course a little bit. But first job was teaching pre-K up here. And I was finishing up my degree and teaching preschool at the same time. And then after about a year of teaching, I moved up into administration and then spent 3 years, almost 4 years at the school, and then finished up as the director of that school. And then just kind of got burnt out with the whole early childhood education system.
What is that? What is all that?
A lot of work and very little pay. That's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah. What'd you like about it?
The kids. I mean, everybody's there for the kids. You have to be there for the kids, or you're not going to make it very long because it can be thankless a lot of days, and basically you don't get paid near what you're worth. But
dang, dude.
Like I said, the people that stay are the people that are there for the kids, and they're just doing it out of the
I like kids, hearts. But I don't know if that's a bad thing. Is that a bad thing? Like I like kids, but I like if they're your kids. You see what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
Yeah, I love them. I'll look after them. But
yeah.
All right. Well, here you go. Here's your kid.
And I used to tell people that I have 60 kids every day, but I just get to send them home. That's it.
See ya.
Get to, at the end of the day, say, hey, see you tomorrow, and then go home and have a beer and enjoy the silence.
Yeah. Oh, wait. So how old are you when you left this place?
Oh, gosh. I'm 30 now, so I probably left there when I was 26.
Dang. So you've been working with your dad since 26?
Yeah, basically. I did a little bit of, I did a 9-month role for another learning center in town. It was basically tutoring.
Oh, okay.
And I liked what I was doing. I just didn't like who I was doing it for, basically. So
that's always the case, man. Being a boss being a boss is hard.
She was a nice enough lady. Her management philosophies and my management philosophies didn't really align,
Yeah.
Have you seen that episode? Do you watch The Office at all?
No, man. Like I've seen episodes, but nothing to where I can keep up with it.
There's an episode where Michael puts like a software on everybody's computers to where he can go in and read all their emails.
Oh, okay.
And he like doesn't tell anybody it's happening, and he's like trying to be so. But this lady she did like almost exactly that to us.
That has to be like invasion of privacy or something.
Well, it was weird. Well, no, because they own the computers, and I'm sure, whatever. Might have a policy anyway. Well, this guy shows up, and it's like 9:30 on a Wednesday, and I'm like, can I help you? He's like, oh, I'm here to work on your computer, and I was like, oh, I think you have the wrong center. My computer's working fine. And he's like, oh, Marissa, the name of the boss lady. I was trying to not say her name, whatever. Nobody's going to listen to this anyway. She didn't tell you I was coming. And I was like, no, what's going on? He's like, oh, I'm just here to work on your computer. It'll take me probably like an hour. If you want to like go to the coffee shop, or something, I'll be done out of your hair. I was like, all right. So went over to the coffee shop, worked on my laptop for a while. And came back, and he's like, all right, I'm all finished up. Great. Hop back on the computer. And about 15 minutes goes by, and I was like turned around, like looking at something on my laptop, and the mouse on my computer starts moving. And I'm like, what in the hell? What's going on? Like, clearly my mouse isn't moving. Like, is the computer glitching out or something? Yeah. And the mouse goes over to Microsoft Word and opens up Microsoft Word. And I'm like, dude, what in the hell is going on with this thing? Like, this is weird. Yeah. Like, I'm like, is there a ghost in this building or something? Uh-huh. And it types out, isn't this cool? Smiley face on Microsoft Word. And I'm like, what? This is like super weird. And about that time, my phone rings, and it's my boss, the other boss. There was like two managers. And he's like, oh, yeah, isn't this so cool? Now I can, if you're having a problem with the server or something, I can just pop on, and help you out and troubleshoot over the phone. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that is pretty cool, And I was like, I just was super shocked because nobody told me that this was happening. And he was like quiet for a second. Bro. And he was like, Marissa didn't tell you this was happening today? And I was like, no, I had no idea. And he was like, oh. Okay, he's like, well, let me know if you need anything, or if I can help you out. And because he was actually nice. He was the one who recruited me. Or, no, I shouldn't say actually nice. He was the guy that I had a lot more in common with. I'll just put it that way. Mm-hmm. And there was a definite pause in his voice when he found out that she hadn't told me, because he's been, like, mortified. Like, oh, my God. That's funny. So, anyway, and then, now I'm selling windows.
Nice, dude. How's that?
It's good, man. I really like it. I enjoy.
What's good about it?
I get to meet people every day. Don't have to sit behind a desk. I get to go out and engage with people and hear their stories, and kind of like why I wanted to create a podcast. Like, man, I just want to talk to people.
I like to talk to people in this sense. I don't like to talk to people and sell stuff. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Don't like it. I try to be as little salesy as possible. You know what I mean? Just like,
people will.
Here's what we do. Here's how we do it. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. End of the day, we can still be friends.
No, yeah, true. Yeah. What I don't know. What's new? What's next? What's 30 years, bro?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, 30 years old. Probably just wanting to get like as financially stable as possible. Have be able to provide a comfortable life for my family whenever the right lady comes along.
Yeah.
Good luck there.
Is there any girls?
There's no girls right now.
None?
Nope. None.
Dang.
I mean, there's girls in Omaha, obviously, but none that I keep around these parts at this time.
Why? Why not?
It's hard meeting the right one, man. It's nice, you know, I mean, and part of it is I'm not just gonna, not to get like into like dating advice, but I'm not just gonna like settle for, you know, somebody that like I just like keeping around and, you know.
Yeah. No, I don't think you take girls seriously. Yeah, no. Well,
I mean,
my next question would be this: What is your definition of love? Like,
oh man, that's loaded. Are you talking about like romantic love?
I would say the distinguishment between love. Like, what kind of loves are there? You know what I mean? And you know.
I mean, I would say if you were going to put it in a box, I'd say there's two kinds of love. You know, there's like a romantic love that like that's one person in your life that you feel that way towards, you know. And I wouldn't even say it's one person because I would say it's just a one person. Sorry, you put me on the spot here. I would say that, you know, like there are like ex-girlfriends that I have, you know, that I'll always love them in some form or fashion. Yeah. I don't want to be romantically involved with them. You know? Like I love them on like a friend level now, you know?
Acquaintance.
I have best girlfriends that I have the same love for, you know? Like that I've never dated at all, but I would put them in the same like love category, you know? And then there's that person that you're just like devoted to, and that's my boo. That's my boo. That's my everything.
Yeah.
There's a song that says that, I think. I don't know. The kids could probably tell you.
Yeah, right.
I try not to engage with the kids so much these days.
Yeah, why? Why? That's why not, man?
I'm referring to like 21-year-olds when I say the kids.
Okay. No, I sit in school, man. I interact with them all the time, dude.
I know. That would be awful.
No, it's not, man. It's.
I bet it's just such a different point of view. Like, cause I had guys like you in my classes, you know, when I moved here. And, I always just thought, man, that's just gotta suck, you know?
No.
But I bet it's fun. Like, it brings in like an element of people watching almost, I bet.
No, like me, when I come in, I don't know if this is just how I am or is this something that I just learned in the Army, but like, you gotta like network. You gotta get acquainted with at least someone next to you or two people next to you. Yeah. So like in every class, I'll get in like, hey, you sitting here for the rest of the year? Or, you know, the rest of the semester? Like, yeah, my name's Austin. What's your name? Like, so-and-so. Like, cool. I want to take this class seriously. Like, are you going to take it seriously? Like, something, you know, some general questions, you know?
It's a good strategy.
And then.
You're vetting them right off the bat.
Yeah, dude.
You got to vet the kids, man. Let me add this about my comment on the kids. I mostly see them at bars, and that's like the worst place to engage with kids.
Yeah.
Not like actual children. I mean, that's not very ideal either, but.
No. Yeah.
You just got to, you know.
Yeah. I guess we're meeting them at different places. Like, I met a stripper at my college. I did, dude.
I bet you did.
I didn't even mean to.
She's out there paying for classes.
Bro, she was there.
That's what I'm talking about. Not that I condone any sort of, or that I shame any sort of that activity, but that's what I'm talking about. That girl's out there paying for her tuition, man. Like, she's figuring out as long as she's cool with it. I mean.
Yeah, dude. But I was so naive when it happened. Like, I was so naive, because I was talking to her, and it was just like a nonchalant, I guess, conversation. I was talking to her, and we're talking about, like, jobs. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to school, you know, full time, whatever, like jet bill, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, so what do you do? She's like, oh, I'm a dancer. I was like, oh, okay, for like a sports team or something? You know, mind you, this girl has blue hair, a nose ring, and like gauges. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, like what sports team is this at? Like arena football? Like I didn't see you at the Rockets.
Dude.
Yeah. You were at the Rockets game. And she's like, no, I'm a stripper. I was like, oh, you make a lot of money. You know? Whoa.
Is that really what you said?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh. Cause, dude,
it's funny.
When I was growing up, after we graduated high school, I was dating a stripper, dude. I was dating a stripper for like wasn't anything serious, but I remember she was, as a stripper, she's probably a nurse now or something, like a nurse practitioner.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But she was saying she was going to school for nursing. And I remember I was asking her, and I was just like, how many days a month do you work? She said she would only work Saturdays, dude. And she would rake in, like, at least, like, on a bad night, she was walking out with $1,000 on a bad night. Dude.
My.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. I need to be a stripper, dude. Jeez Louise, man.
Put on a little weight.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. But yeah, man, it's not bad. But I've met so many people being very polite, nice, and respectful, and I've met so many different kids. I've met so many different kids that their parents own different businesses. And I go to those places. Like, I needed shirts to be made. Met someone who their mom owns a shirt shop, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, dude. Boom.
People
it was great.
Taking care of people.
Yeah, right. It happens. It's going around. Yeah, dude. I don't mind it. It's not anything that, like, I guess that affects me. I'm not gonna say that, like, we're talking about politics. We're just talking about nothing, man. Really. You know, like,
just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out. Study sessions aren't really study sessions, dude. They're more like just people talking about nothing, you know? And then get serious at the end, at like 15 minutes before we have to take the test or something, dude, you know?
So, yeah. Any other questions that you wanted to ask me, or have you gotten caught up in the life and times of Alex Brummel well enough?
No, I think that concludes my my interview. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for your questions, buddy. You know I love talking to you.
I'm not gonna accept that like that. Too many people listening to this be like, dude, that's questionable.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we'll be. I lost the actual timer, but it's gonna be another long one. So moving forward. Give you your week, and I'll have my week. So next week will be my week. I'll have a list of topics that we'll discuss and run through. Cluck about it.
Yeah, right. Cool, dude. You can cluck about it all you want, man.
All right, man. Well, thank you for listening, and thanks for your questions, and we'll see you next week.
It's time to change our ways so we can save the day for the children's sake and make a better place to play. If it's all good, we got your coupe and grip your wood. And if you're riding dirty, like to split and blow you. But do it real big, exactly like a player should. Enjoy your 24, do thing and rep your hood. The world is all yours, but still we all grind forever in the day. The choice you make is really all fine.